Hello everybody and welcome back to a man who can entertain people even if they don't know what he's talking about. My name is Edinger and cereal is my way of life, okay? I used to grow cereal, my very own. It was delicious, all right? Sampled it on the side streets, delivered it in little baggies. You want a half ounce of my Cap'n Crunch? What? Listen, I'm a big cereal guy, okay? Growing up, I genuinely would have 2 to 3 bowls of cereal every single day. That was my American life. Fighting with my 2 brothers on who's gonna get the last of the good cereal. I've sampled all the best. I have the tongue, palate of a god. One of the hardest parts about moving to the UK was giving up access to that giant catalog of American cereals for the incredibly paltry and tiny UK one. Now, you might disagree that a cereal like, I don't know, chicken and waffles or even s'mores needs to exist, but I assure you, it does. Also, by the way, this video is sponsored by Shoptagger, and you'll be hearing more about them in the middle of the video. A quick perspective, by the way, in the US, we have 27 different varieties of Cheerios, from a chocolate and peanut butter one to a yogurty one, whereas in the UK, they've got 5, and of those 5, 2 of 5 of those are actually trying to take away sugar from what I thought was a sugarless cereal. How are you gonna take sugar away from Cheerios? What? Where are you getting it from? But enough jabbering. Today, I'm going to be trying weetabix for the first time. I put it off because it just looks rank, but I think it's the most high-selling cereal in the UK. I've also got Crunchy Nut. I've not enjoyed that in the past. Maybe I'll come around. And I've got with me loads of my favorite US cereals. Right after a word from today's video sponsor, Shoptagger, a free Chrome extension that helps you save so much money just by installing it. It's amazing. Now, I'm the type of person that somewhat impulse buys at the wrong times. I'll be like, I need this thing and I need it right now. So I buy it. That's a 50 IQ move, okay? You want the 200 IQ move, you download Shoptagger. Basically, all you gotta do is find the item you want. Let's say it's this cool shelf item from IKEA that I absolutely cannot pronounce. Tag it using the extension, sit back, enjoy your life, and then you'll get notified when the price goes down, if there's a sale. So basically, you get what you want, you don't impulse buy, it's a win-win, you save some money, pick up your sexy shelf. You can save all the different items that you've tagged with Shoptagger into different lists, so that way you can be notified when certain types of things go on sale. Also, they give you cash back on PayPal if you shop through their retail partners, which is like, hey, free money, and they'll also find loads of different coupons on the web whenever you're trying to buy something to save you as much money as possible. And did I mention it's a free Chrome extension? So check the link in the description, download Shoptagger today, and save some money on your next big purchase. Hopefully maybe a nice box of American cereal. It's a real bargain. So without further ado, let's check out the tier list. Okay, so first off on the list, I feel like Trix is a good one just because this is not a cereal I was allowed to have that often as a kid because God, it is just so colorful. I think my mom did her best, okay? She'd be like, no, not this shiny, colorful one, but Cap'n Crunch is fine. Whoa. I'm gonna be honest, it just smells like a pick and mix stand. Look at that. Would you eat this? So, Trix, we're gonna try this out. I just remember it being incredibly sweet. 12 grams of sugar, so I've seen worse. A lot worse, actually. All right. It's exactly as I remembered it. It's weird to me that this does taste like what you would call cereal, though a lot of people might disagree. I'm gonna have to give Trix, I feel like it tastes good, but it just feels really fake. I don't know how to describe it. I'm going to have to put Trix in the D category, okay? No Trix for me, it's just, it doesn't taste great. It tastes not good enough to literally be average. It's just below average. No. So I started with a US cereal that is quite incredibly sweet. Cinnamon Life is sort of similar to Shreddies, except cinnamon, all right? We've got a cinnamon variant. Now, my mom used to buy a Cinnamon Life when she wanted us to be healthier. You know, it's got that nice whole wheat and only 10 grams of sugar, okay? 1 gram less than the old Trix. I feel like it's really hard to make a cereal with cinnamon badly. The consistency of this, like the texture and the whole cinnamon baked in, oh, it's OG, it's just amazing. I'm putting Cinnamon Life in the A tier, okay? A tier. It's not quite S, it's very close. It's very, very close, but oh my gosh, absolutely delicious. Now, we don't quite have a UK equivalent to Cinnamon Life, like I said, but we do have Shreddies. We've got the original Shreddies. It feels like you're eating something a bit healthier, and if you take a little teaspoon of sugar and sprinkle that on, it can make it pretty darn good. But I'm still gonna have to put that in the C category. But they've already perfected it because in the UK, they've added sugar to it on top. Frosted Shreddies is definitely B tier, just like the Shreddies, but it's got that sugar baked in. Delicious. Wow, magnifique. Also, like I said, we've got the Chex, which is the US equivalent of Shreddies. I'm putting that right next to it at C. Like, it's okay. It's healthy. Next up on the tier list, Lucky Charms. It's one of those that's just notorious. Everyone's heard of it. Everyone's like, how is that allowed? It's literally just marshmallows in a not very good cereal. I've never heard someone argue with this. The cereal in Lucky Charms is just bad, and it's brought up with the marshmallows. I don't want to have to eat good and bad together. I just want a good cereal. Lucky Charms is actually going down into F tier, okay? I'm sorry. I'm actually not. That is where it belongs. Next up on the tier list, we're going with Crunchy Nut. This is a UK cereal. We don't really have something like this in the US. It's slightly similar to Honey Bunches of Oats. Imagine if cornflakes got dropped in a nut blender. That's Crunchy Nut. I've only ever had this once, just after moving here. I remember just hating it because I like that, like, honey nut stuff in the States, it's just honey. You can barely taste the nut. I don't like nuts in my mouth. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brits, but I'm pretty sure like, this is one of the most popular cereals in the UK as well, and also has a huge amount of sugar compared to most cereal in the UK. How much do we got here? Yeah, this one has 11 grams of sugar, so this is similar to the US cereals we've had so far, but British. Everyone in my house loves this stuff, all right? British people, they go wild for Crunchy Nut. This is like British people treating themselves. Like, oh, it's so, Oh, no. It's so close to being a good cereal. There's just something slightly off about it that I don't like. No. It's that nut. It's that nut. Crunchy Nut is getting a big D tier for me, okay? Right next to Trix. It's just, I wouldn't choose to eat Crunchy Nut ever. So similar to Crunchy Nut, but the OG, what do you guys think of cornflakes? You can always make cornflakes better just with a lot of sugar. It's definitely better than Crunchy Nut. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to order cornflakes, but I've had it and I don't hate it. Now, one step up from cornflakes, you guys are gonna know, Tony the Tiger. He comes to me with Frosted Flakes, or as they call in the UK, it's way cuter, Frosties. In the UK, Tony says they're gonna taste great. You know, you're expecting them to taste great. They're gonna taste great. In the US, it's just, they're great. You don't have to worry about praying that they're gonna taste. Either way, it doesn't matter. Frosted Flakes is a solid B tier. And then we have one more, flaky cereal. This one sadly did not arrive to me in time to make this video. It is by far one of the nicest cereals. It's like amazing cereal. It's an adult cereal. Honey Bunches and Oats. Do you like the flaky, crunchy nut consistency and texture? Do you also want a bit more flavor and variety with like clusters of either almonds, of cinnamon bits, of yogurt, anything you want? It's S tier, okay? Solid S tier. Mwah, beautiful, no argument. Feel like an adult, but taste like a child. Oh my God, that is not. No! Reese's Puffs, our next contender here. Peanut butter and chocolate all in one. And corn pops, are you kidding me? Oh, it just smells like a Reese's. It's Reese's for breakfast. This is also one of those like crazy American cereals. At this point, it's so well known, I wouldn't even call it crazy. This is totally fair game. And before you go saying, whoa, that's way too sugary, whoa. Actually, 12 grams of sugar, not that bad. It's like chocolate cereal and peanut butter combined. You guys don't have many peanut butter cereal in the UK. Wow. Yeah, the flavors just pop. Oh my God. Wow. I wouldn't change a thing. Reese's Puffs is a solid A tier. I don't want to hear any arguing. It is delicious. It hits all the spots. The crunch is just so satisfying. The flavors, both in the mouth at the same time. Oh, beautiful. I'd be very happy if they just bring Reese's Puffs over to the UK. I feel like I'm getting a slight sugar high from eating all these cereals. What is going to be the next one up? We've got here a Coco Pops. Now, in the US, this is also called Cocoa Pebbles or Cocoa Rice Krispies. This is one of the most popular cereals in the UK for children because it turns your milk chocolatey. This isn't an original thing in the US. We have, like, every chocolate cereal does that. But this one, oh boy. Before everyone starts complaining about the US cereals, the sugar in this British one, all right, Coco Pops, is 5.1 grams. That's not so bad. It makes the pop sounds. Wow. I've not had Coco Pops in so long. It has so much more chocolate than I remember. Wow. I feel like Coco Pops are solidly in the same category as Frosties. All right, Coco Crispies, same thing. B tier it is. They're a classic. I'll put them in the classics category. Now, speaking of classics, there's one US classic that I feel like everyone has experienced in the US because it's the one you always come back to. You leave it, you say sorry, you come back in the door. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the taste you can see. When I first moved here, obviously, I looked at the cereal aisle, found Curiously Cinnamon and went, oh, okay, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, yeah? No, it's not quite as good. Curiously Cinnamon is solidly like 2 tiers below Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't know how they do it, but definitely God tier. This one has covered up the sugar content. What is it, 12 grams? That's not bad. So 12 grams of sugar. This is the difference between this and Curiously Cinnamon, all right, lads? You can see the cinnamon. The milk just gets perfect afterwards. Oh my God. It has the best texture and consistency of any of the cereals we've had so far. The taste is unparalleled. I'll say it. It's a perfect cereal. You can't change it. It's perfect. We gotta move it up. It's going straight up to the S tier. It's just perfect. Also, if you've ever had the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Churros cereal, seen here, It's somehow the same, if not slightly better to the SS tier, but we do have the UK variant. Curiously Cinnamon is definitely solidly in the same category as Coco Pops and Frosties. But Evan, I hear you ask, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that's delicious, but isn't there another similar variant that's even more tasty and sugary? French Toast Crunch, bursting with syrup and cinnamon taste. It's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but with syrup. This was always my favorite one growing up because, oh my God, it's just delicious. Only 12 grams of sugar, lads, all right? You can see a similar pattern here. And look at them. They're adorable little French toast. Oh my God, I wish I could just have you smell this. It genuinely smells like pancakes, right? It smells like French toast. You tell me these aren't the cutest little things you've ever seen in your entire life. It's just a taste you can't get anywhere else except possibly real French toast, but that's not crunchy. I honestly thought I would be thinking a bit more highly of this. You know what? I feel like it's in B. I think maybe my tastes have changed. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is definitely OG, but French Toast Crunch is just, it's good. It's definitely better than average, but only slightly so. On a similar vein though, if you're like, Evan, I want more syrup tasting cereal. Well, we actually have got Waffle Crisp. When this came out when I was a kid, oh my God, blew my mind. It's like A/B. We're having a lot of stuff in B right now. Waffle Crisp is like super tasty and sweet. I'm putting it right next to French Toast Crunch, okay? Waffle Crisp deserves its place. But speaking of breakfast food, the US has done it again. They've made yet another breakfast food into a cereal. Have you guys ever heard of Pop-Tarts Crunch? I know it's not a classic and it's new on the scene. I actually had it for my first time like 2-3 years ago. Imagine Crave, except instead of chocolate or hazelnut in the middle, it's like strawberry and it's like a jelly almost. It's kind of cool, but it's a lot more weird than cool. I've got to give Pop-Tarts Crunch to the D tier. Speaking of Crave though, Crave definitely deserves a lot more credit than the Pop-Tarts Crunch does. Crave, coming on the scene, supporting YouTubers way back in the day, if anyone remembers the Crave Challenge, everybody and their mothers, except me, got the Crave Challenge. It is an American cereal that was brought over to the UK, and to my knowledge, it is by far the best sugary cereal they have access to in the UK. It's kind of like the only one. It's always a bit too pricey for a small box, but Crave is just really, really good. I think I'm going to actually have to put Crave in the A tier. Like, I feel like I get it enough where I'm like, oh, it's just really nice, hits the spot, it's sweet, fills me up a bit, and I don't feel too bad about myself. Weetabix. I don't know if we have an equivalent in the US. Would you say shredded wheat is equivalent? The thing that, like, I would hate when my mom brought shredded wheat because I'm like, no, please, it's just wheat. Wait, what? Okay. Is this what it's supposed to be? This is like a Nature Valley bar. It's just kind of coming out everywhere. This is your Weetabix. Just one of these guys. It looks healthy. What if I like this? What if this is like the tastiest thing I've had in an age? Also, I've heard word on the street is that if you eat Weetabix, it actually gets softer the more you eat it, and it's not bad. I've actually heard it's preferred. It's just interesting that it is just a block of wheat. Like, they haven't really done much else with it. Oh, it breaks up a bit better than I was expecting. Bottoms up. I mean, it tastes like I'm eating something really healthy. I'm gonna give it a point for that. And the consistency is genuinely interesting. I don't think I know of any other cereal that's quite like this. It feels good to eat this. It feels really good to eat Weetabix. It's just the taste. It's just there's no sugar in this, is there? Wow. There's only 1.6 grams of sugar in this entire thing. I mean, I have to give it props for that. I'll try one more, okay? It's now a significant amount more mushier. Wow, it's like a completely different cereal, but I still have to give it, I'm really sorry, I'm gonna have to give it a D tier. I understand it's wholesome, but it's just not that great. It's a D tier, okay, I'm sorry. But that's not the only thing that Weetabix is known for. Weetabix have also made Weetabix Crispy Minis, are like little tinier versions of these with chocolate in it. And you know what they did when they put the chocolate in it? They made an amazing cereal. Crispy Minis is probably like my go-to cereal in the UK because it makes me feel like, it's Weetabix. That means it's healthy, right? And it's got a little bit of chocolate, so it's satiating my sugar demands. I have to say, it's actually an A tier. It's A tier. You heard it here. Crispy Minis, solidly in A tier. I feel like that is a British cereal. I will get it, and I will enjoy it. Beautiful. I love it. On a similar thread, you guys ever had Alpen? Alpen Muesli? It looks like this. I have this box here. I went through a health kick about 2 years ago. I ate some of it. It is just the most like boring flat cereal you can have. It is, as far as I'm concerned, the healthiest cereal you can get, but it's just everything that I don't want in a cereal. I'm sadly going to have to put Alpen in the F tier, right next to Lucky Charms, the healthiest and the least healthiest cereal right next to each other. All right, we talked about a lot of classics in this tier list. Cheerios is definitely one of those classics. The OG, I just find tastes so boring and bland, but you can save it with a bit of sugar. And it also is healthy, you know, comparatively to the rest of them. I find that Cheerios and Corn Flakes are always neck and neck in terms of like, it's cereal, I don't want it, but it's also like good. for you solidly in the C tier. It looks like the C tiers are all basically the same, the unsweetened version of that cereal. Now this one might surprise you because it's called Honey Cheerios in the UK and Honey Nut Cheerios in the US. I actually rank Honey Nut Cheerios even worse. Even though it's a bit sweeter, I find that Honey Nut Cheerios just leave that bad taste in your mouth. Ugh, I would just rather have normal Cheerios and put sugar on it than whatever they've done with the Honey Cheerios. Just no, thank you. Oh my God, I forgot. We have some Honey Monster Wheat Puffs. I don't think I've ever had this. Used to be called Sugar Puffs. Only 6.6? Actually, I'm surprised. Wow. As far as I'm aware, Sugar Puffs are basically the UK equivalent of, it's like Golden Crisp. Like this was the cereal that my mom would buy and we'd store it, so we always had some, but they stuck together. It always just tasted rank. Oh. But maybe the UK figured it out. This is what we're talking about here. You know it, you've seen it. I just personally have never enjoyed puffed wheat as a cereal, but we shall try it. It's weird to me that like, this was one that British kids got excited for as well. This was like one of my least favorites in the States. I guess because we had things like cinnamon flavored crack. No, it's going right in the mug. That is a one bite. I'm not having it anymore. Oh God. Oh, that was so unenjoyable. I'm like tempted to put that in either D tier or F tier. Sugar Puffs, Wheat Puffs, whatever you want to call them, I'm calling them F Puffs. All right, because I'm never effing that Honey Monster. What? Disgusting. Never once. Now, one of these saddest cereals we've got on our list here is a cereal that speaks such a strong game, all right? You think that it's gonna be amazing. It's cookies for breakfast. Cookie Crisp does not taste like cookies. In the US and the UK, where I was like, oh sweet, at least they got Cookie Crisp. No, it's just not enjoyable. I'm gonna have to put Cookie Crisp is like D tier. Definitely deserves its place right there next to Crunchy Nut and Trix. Like, I'm not ever going to have it, but it's not quite as bad as Lucky Charms, Alpen, and Sugar Puffs. Another big one we talk up a lot in the US is Fruit Loops. We actually had Fruit Loops in the UK for a good 3-4 years. They brought them over here, but this is what they looked like. I don't know how they're legally allowed to call these Fruit Loops. They're not colorful, they're not bright. They tasted rancid. They were like brown, bad Cheerios. UK equivalent is definitely in the F, never once. The US one is very similar to Trix. It's just too sweet and flavorful, full of the artificial fruity flavors. Yet again, a D tier. I've just never been a fan of the brightly colored fruity cereals. I just find their taste not that great. Speaking of brightly colored fruity cereals though, what do you think of this one? Cap'n Crunch's Oops, All Berries. No jokes. This is not a bad cereal. Growing up as a kid, you've got your choice of either Captain Crunch or in French, Captain Crunch. Who's taught me some French today, such as Crunchifique. Cap'n Crunch and Oops All Berries, all right, these are separate cereals, but usually what you can get is the Cap'n Crunch's Crunch Berries, which is this one, the yellow nougats, and this one together. That specific cereal, I'm not joking, is solidly in the S tier, okay, believe it or not. I'm not kidding. It is genuinely amazing. However, these separately is a different story, okay? Put them together, amazing. Separately, I don't know. When I was a kid, nearing towards my third bowl of Cap'n Crunch's Crunch Berries, I would not eat any of these, saving them for the end, so then I would have my own bowl of Oops All Berries before they came out with it. They stole my idea. I've heard that a lot of people have like mouth pain when they eat this stuff. Like they complain like, oh, it hurt the roof of my mouth. And I'm like, grow up. You know what? It's really nice. There's something about it that it's missing. I'm gonna add a little bit of these berries to the mix. We got the mixture of the berries and the little pillows. It's just perfect. It's just perfect. And then just the Oops All Berries. Let us see if this one here is too overpoweringly sweet and it needs those yellow ones to bring it down. Yeah, you know what? The berries are so like airy and fluffy. Paired with the other stuff, it's amazing, but by itself, it just feels like you're eating air. I enjoy this air, but I'm gonna put Oops All Berries in the C tier. Oops, sorry about that. It's definitely C tier. And I'm actually gonna put the OG Cap'n Crunch. That one's gonna go a step above in the B tier. Like, it's pretty good. It's not quite as good as the S tier Cap'n Crunch with Crunch Berries or the Christmas variant. Oh God, 10 out of 10. All right, next up, Raisin Bran. You guys got Bran Flakes in the UK. We've got Raisin Bran. Think Bran Flakes, but they made it even worse. I'm going to give it the F tier. That's right, spoon. Raisins, horrible. Add it to any dish and make it worse. Bran Flakes, what do you think I am, 90 years old in an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants? I don't think so. Solid F tier. Next up, a UK cereal that is very similar to the US's Corn Pops. Gotta have my Pops. It's Golden Nuggets. I find Golden Nuggets just sickly sweet. I think it belongs in the C tier. I wouldn't really get it that much, but I wouldn't be upset about having it. It's okay. Oh, look at that. We actually have another Cap'n Crunch one. We have 2 of them left, actually. So this one I actually have Peanut Butter Crunch. How much sugar are we talking about here, by the way? 13 grams. That's not too bad. Compared to Oops All Berries, this one's 17 grams. Okay, Oops All Berries. Just peanut butter. Reese's is kind of very similar to this. The Reese's Puffs is similar to this, except has that extra benefit of the chocolate as well. Wow, oh my God. That is so much more crunchy than I remembered. Reese's Puffs is nowhere near this level of crunch. Woo! Wow, what a texture. Like I said, I feel like it needs that chocolatey bit of the Reese's Puffs. Cap'n Crunch's peanut butter crunch, solidly C tier. It's got a good texture, but the flavor's like, it's missing something. And the final Cap'n Crunch I couldn't pick up, sadly. It was hard to find. Sprinkled Donut Crunch. Look at what it looks like, all right? It's literally little mini sprinkled donuts that taste like sugar donuts. For breakfast. Yes, I'm serious. It's delicious. Is it S tier? No. Is it A tier? Not quite. Is it B tier? Yeah, pretty much. It's delicious, but it's just so sweet. And the concept, it angers everyone around you that's not American, okay? We fight for our freedom to enjoy our sprinkled donuts crunch. Other sweet cereals, though, we do have a couple. Oreo O's. I don't know if you guys know this, but this has just recently come out in the UK, but I warn you against it. It is not Oreo O's. I have had both. This has texture. It tastes like Oreos. There's like cream on the outside of each O. In the UK, they're smooth. They taste so much less sugar. Maybe that's a good thing, but it just doesn't taste that great in my opinion. This one has 17 grams of sugar per serving. 17. It's gonna be worth it, okay? When this one came out as a kid, I was so incredibly excited. I was like, Mom, you better pick me up some of them Oreo O's. This is like the dream of a cereal. Look at this. Amazing. Oh, wow. I finished that whole bowl. Oreo O's, it's delicious. It's got a good consistency. It's Oreos. What's not to love? What's not to love is that I actually forgot to put Oreo O's in this list. However, screenshot, bam, add it to the list. That is going solidly in A tier. All right, Oreo O's in the A tier. Mwah. Similar to Oreo O's though, a British similar one, Weetos, all right? Made by the same company that makes weetabix somehow. These chocolatey looking O's are it's weird, right? Because you got crispy minis in the A, you got Weetabix solidly in like the D tier. I had to put Weetos in the F tier. I'm sorry. There's nothing pleasant about Weetos. At least with Weetabix original, like I said, it's healthy. I don't care. It doesn't taste that great. But Weetos was like, let's make it sweeter and still not be that great. Sorry, guys. Never once. No Weetos, no thanks. So you want cornflakes, but you want them to be just a little bit sweeter and you want to pretend to yourself that it's actually healthy. Special K. I have a lot of friends that absolutely swear by this cereal. It really depends on which one you get. I think it belongs in C tier. It's not amazing. It's not bad. It belongs right next to cornflakes, if you can believe it. If you live in the UK, you've got to try Jordan's Country Crisp. It's kind of like granola, but yet more than that. I freaking love granola. I feel like you add it to anything, it tastes delicious. It's a bit on the sugary side, but not too bad. I'm actually gonna put that in the A tier. It's healthily there. It makes me feel like I'm not eating stuff that's too bad for me. Rice Krispies is very similar to cornflakes, to Cheerios. It's flavorless, it sings to you in the bowl, snap, crackle, pop. But it also requires just a spoonful of sugar to make the whole thing taste really nice. Unlike its Coco Pops variant, which is solidly in the B tier, Rice Krispies, honestly, it's just C tier. I think it belongs right next to all these other Cheerios, cornflakes, Shreddies. They're okay, they're not bad, they're average. Rice Krispie treats. You know the Rice Krispie treats covered in marshmallow? Like it's all like this brick. Oh my, imagine taking that, breaking it up into bits, and then putting milk on it. The OG is God tier cereal. Okay, I will not lie. I'm putting it in S tier. It is amazing, okay? They recently stopped making Rice Krispie treat cereal the way that it used to be. That was so amazing. It's similar to how Ricicles in the UK, they removed it. They changed it. Doesn't taste that great anymore. Speaking of cereals they've removed multiple times and have brought back because it stands the test of time, s'mores. You thought I was kidding when I was talking about s'mores earlier? Graham cracker, chocolate, marshmallow, please. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. I'm giving it a B tier. I only just recently found out that they actually have Golden Grahams in the UK, but they called them something different. Golden Grahams. Grahams? Grahams? Golden Grahams, in my opinion, are just very unsatisfying. Like, they do the job, they're supposedly sweet. The texture's even pretty good. It's just, no. It's gotta be in D tier, I'm sorry. All right, next up, Frosted Mini Wheats. This one exists in both countries. It's healthy. It's literally shredded wheat. It's got a bit of sugar to make you feel like you're not just eating shredded wheat. I think it does a really good job of being healthy and then also a bit sweet. I think it belongs to be in the A tier because I don't feel bad when I'm eating it. It's similar to like crispy minis. Mini Wheats, solid A tier. Oh my God, we only have 2 left. Apple Jacks. You guys heard of Apple Jacks? You think that they're apple flavored, right? But it's mostly just a cinnamon flavored cereal. Apple Jacks, it's pretty good. Like I said, it's really hard to mess up a cinnamon cereal. But that additional element of the slight apple flavor really does wonders for this thing. You know what? I enjoyed that way more than I thought I was going to. Apple Jacks, it's in the B tier. It's good. It's definitely better than average. The apple flavored cinnamon stuff, it really does just elevate it above the rest. Amazing. And then the final cereal that we've got today is Honeycomb. This was one I had a lot growing up. I really love that they're like little honeycomb shaped pieces. I think they look really, really cute. How much sugar are we talking about here? This one's not, 12 grams. They always felt so airy, like they're so spacious in your mouth. It's not bad. I did always used to think it tasted like honey flavored cardboard. I just feel like if you're gonna have cereal, you might as well pick something better than Honeycomb, but you can do a lot worse. Honeycomb gets solidly in the C tier, all right? Do you agree with this list? What do we got here? I think as I looked at each one in each of the tiers, I'm like, yeah, I like those about as much as each other. Like all the B's are very solid. All the C's are incredibly solid. Chex, Corn Flakes, Cheerios, Golden Nuggets, Special K, Rice Krispies, Honeycomb, all those are like that's all right. It's all right cereal. It's pretty all right. The ones at the bottom here, we got Weetos, yes. Alpen, Sugar Puffs, dreadful. Lucky Charms, way too crazy. Raisin Bran, screw raisins. Sadly, no UK cereal made it to my S tier, but Crispy Minis, Crave, Country Crisp, all three of those in the A tier. This is just my opinion though. Please tell me what your thoughts are. If you disagree with this in any regard. I feel like the ones that are the most polarizing are always my S tiers or F tiers. So just tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me and all my weird eating endeavors. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.